15 minutes to break inner resistance. Napoleon Hill, powerful self-motivation. If you've ever felt like you're your own worst enemy, like there's an invisible force holding you back from the success you know you deserve, then you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not stuck. The painful truth is that most people live their entire lives fighting a battle they don't even know they're in. A battle against their own mind. You set goals, you get excited, you make plans, but then something happens. That familiar voice starts whispering reasons why you can't, why you shouldn't, why now isn't the right time. It's not laziness, it's not lack of talent, and it's not because you don't want it badly enough. What you're experiencing is inner resistance, and it's the single biggest reason why talented, intelligent, capable people never reach their full potential. But here's what Napoleon Hill discovered through studying over 500 of the world's most successful individuals. This internal enemy can be defeated, and it doesn't require years of struggle or complex techniques. The solution is simpler than you think, more powerful than you imagine, and can be implemented in just 15 minutes. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn the exact method that Hill used to help ordinary people break through mental barriers that had held them back for years. You'll discover why your current approach to motivation has been backwards, how to reprogram your mind's operating system, and most importantly, how to develop the kind of self-command that turns dreams into reality. Get ready to declare war on the limitations in your mind. Your future self is counting on what you do with this knowledge. When most people think about obstacles, they look outside themselves, blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck for their failures. But here's what Napoleon Hill discovered through his research of over 500 successful individuals. The greatest enemy to your success isn't external at all. It's that sneaky little voice inside your head, constantly whispering reasons why you can't, shouldn't, or won't achieve your dreams. This inner resistance is like an invisible wall that stands between you and everything you desire. And until you recognize it for what it is, you'll keep running into the same barriers over and over again. Think of it as your mind's security system. It's trying to keep you safe by keeping you exactly where you are. The fascinating thing about inner resistance is that it disguises itself as logic, common sense, or even wisdom. Your subconscious mind will come up with the most convincing arguments for why now isn't the right time, why you need more preparation, or why someone like you couldn't possibly succeed. It's incredibly clever at making fear sound reasonable and procrastination feel justified. You might find yourself saying things like, "I need to research more," or "maybe next year when things settle down." But deep down, you know these are just sophisticated forms of self-sabotage. The truth is, your mind has been programmed from childhood with limiting beliefs, and these mental barriers have become so familiar that you mistake them for your own thoughts. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is something most people never realize. Every time you give in to inner resistance, you're actually strengthening it, like feeding a monster that grows bigger and more powerful with each surrender. However, the opposite is also true. Every time you push through that resistance, even in small ways, you weaken its hold over you. The key insight that Hill emphasized is that resistance isn't a permanent part of your personality. It's simply a habit of thinking that can be changed. When you start to see it as a temporary visitor rather than a permanent resident, you begin to reclaim your power. And once you understand that this internal battle is where real success is won or lost, everything changes. Here's something most people don't know about motivation and momentum. There's a critical window of approximately 15 minutes where you can either break through inner resistance or let it win for another day. Think of it like a window that opens briefly. If you don't jump through it, it closes, and you'll have to wait for the next opportunity. This isn't just some motivational theory. It's based on how your brain actually works. When you have an inspired idea or feel motivated to take action, your subconscious mind immediately starts generating reasons why you shouldn't act. But if you can move within those first 15 minutes, you slip past the security system before it fully activates. It's like sneaking past a guard who's momentarily distracted. Timing is everything. The magic of this 15-minute principle lies in understanding that motivation isn't something you wait for. It's something you create through action. Most people have it backwards. They think they need to feel motivated before they act, but successful people know that action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you force yourself to take just one small step within that critical window, something remarkable happens in your brain chemistry. Your confidence starts to build, your energy increases, and suddenly that mountain of resistance begins to crumble. It's like starting a car on a cold morning. The hardest part is getting the engine to turn over, but once it starts, it runs smoothly. The key is not to think about the entire journey, but simply to focus on what you can do right now, in this moment. Napoleon Hill often talked about the power of definiteness of purpose, and this 15-minute window is where that definiteness transforms from thought into reality. During these crucial minutes, you're not trying to solve all your problems or achieve your entire goal. You're simply proving to yourself that inner resistance doesn't control you. Maybe it's making one phone call, writing one paragraph, or taking one concrete step toward your dream. The specific action matters less than the act of moving. Despite the resistance, what you're really doing is rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways that favor action over hesitation. And here's the beautiful part. Each time you win this 15-minute battle, the next one becomes a little easier, until taking action becomes as natural as breathing. Your mind operates like a computer, running on outdated software, programmed years ago with beliefs that may have served you once, but now hold you back from achieving your true potential. Most of this programming happened before you even knew what was happening, through things your parents said, experiences you had, or stories you heard about what's possible for someone like you. The problem is, you're trying to run success software on a system that was programmed for survival, not achievement. It's like trying to run the latest video game on a computer from the 1990s. It's going to crash every time. But here's the empowering truth that Hill discovered. You can rewrite this programming, and it doesn't take years of therapy or complicated techniques to do it. The secret to reprogramming your subconscious mind lies in understanding that it doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. This is why visualization and positive self-talk aren't just feel-good exercises. They're actually rewiring your mental circuitry. When you consistently feed your mind images of success, stories of achievement, and affirmations of your capabilities, you're literally overwriting the old limiting programs with new empowering ones. Think of it like updating your phone's operating system. You're not throwing away the phone, just upgrading its capabilities. The key is consistency and emotion. Your subconscious responds more to how you feel about something than to the logical content of your thoughts. One of the most powerful techniques Hill taught was the practice of autosuggestion. Essentially, becoming your own programmer. Instead of letting random thoughts and external influences shape your mental software, you take control of the input. This means consciously choosing what books you read, what conversations you have, what images you visualize, and what words you speak to yourself. Start with just 15 minutes a day of deliberate mental programming. Read something inspiring, visualize your goals as already achieved, or repeat affirmations with genuine feeling. The transformation doesn't happen overnight, but something remarkable occurs. You begin to notice that your automatic responses start changing. Where you once felt fear, you begin to feel excitement. Where you once saw obstacles, you start seeing opportunities. And where you once heard reasons why you can't, you start generating ideas about how you can. Success follows the same laws as physics, and one of the most important is the law of momentum. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest, while objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Your life right now is the result of momentum in a particular direction, and if you want different results, you need to understand how to shift that momentum. Most people try to change everything at once, like trying to turn a massive ship by yanking the wheel. It doesn't work and usually leads to frustration and giving up. But when you understand the physics of personal change, you realize that small, consistent actions compound over time to create dramatic transformations. Think of it like a rocket leaving Earth's atmosphere. Most of the fuel is burned just getting off the ground, but once it breaks free of gravity, it can travel vast distances with minimal energy. The breakthrough moment happens when you accumulate enough small victories to reach what scientists call a tipping point. The moment when change becomes self-sustaining. In personal development, this is when your new habits become stronger than your old ones, when your self-belief becomes louder than your self-doubt, and when taking action becomes easier than staying stuck. You'll know you've reached this point because what once required tremendous willpower now feels natural and automatic. The resistance that used to exhaust you becomes a whisper you barely notice. This is why Hill emphasized the importance of daily disciplines, not because each individual action is life-changing, but because the cumulative effect creates unstoppable momentum. Here's where it gets really exciting. Once you understand these principles, you can apply them to any area of your life where you want to see change, whether it's building a business, improving relationships, getting healthier, or developing new skills. The same physics apply. Start small, be consistent, focus on progress rather than perfection, and trust the process. For example, if you want to write a book, don't try to write a chapter on day one. Commit to writing just one paragraph every day for 15 minutes. If you want to build wealth, don't wait until you have thousands to invest. Start with whatever you can, even if it's just $5 a week. The key is to generate momentum in the direction of your dreams and let the physics of success work in your favor. Remember, every expert was once a beginner, and every massive oak tree started as a small acorn that held its ground. The ultimate skill that separates successful people from everyone else isn't talent, luck, or connections. It's the ability to command themselves to act despite how they feel in the moment. This is what Napoleon Hill called self-mastery, and it's the foundation upon which all other success principles are built. Think about it. You can know all the strategies in the world, have access to the best opportunities, and possess incredible talent, but if you can't get yourself to consistently take action when it matters most, none of that knowledge or potential means anything. Self-command is like being the CEO of your own life. You don't wait for your employees, your emotions, moods, and impulses to feel like working before you give them direction. You lead, and they follow. Most people live their lives at the mercy of their feelings, letting their emotions dictate their actions like leaves blown around by the wind. They take action when they feel motivated, avoid discomfort when they feel afraid, and give up when they feel discouraged. But masters of self-command understand that feelings are just temporary weather patterns. They come and go, but your commitment to your goals remains constant. This doesn't mean becoming emotionless or ignoring your feelings. It means developing the ability to feel whatever you feel while still doing what needs to be done. It's like learning to drive in all weather conditions. You don't wait for perfect, sunny days to get where you need to go. You develop the skills to navigate safely regardless of the conditions. The beautiful thing about developing self-command is that it's a skill that transfers to every area of your life. When you prove to yourself that you can override inner resistance in one situation, your confidence grows in your ability to handle any challenge. You start to see yourself differently, not as someone who's at the mercy of circumstances, but as someone who creates circumstances. This shift in identity is profound and lasting. You begin to ask different questions. Instead of, how do I feel about doing this? You ask, what needs to be done to achieve my goal? Instead of, what if I fail? You ask, what can I learn from this experience? This is the mental shift that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. And it all starts with those crucial 15 minutes where you choose action over resistance. I've covered all 5 topics. Now let me create the introduction as requested. You now possess the knowledge that separates those who dream from those who achieve. But knowledge without action is just expensive entertainment. The question isn't whether these principles work. They've been proven by countless successful individuals over nearly a century. The question is whether you'll use them. Right here, right now, you have a choice. You can close this video, return to your normal routine, and let inner resistance convince you that you'll start tomorrow, next week, or when conditions are perfect. Or you can decide that this moment is your turning point. This channel exists to give you the tools, strategies, and mindset shifts that successful people have used for generations. But I can't want your success more than you do. I challenge you to take the 15-minute principle and apply it to one area of your life where you've been stuck. Don't think about it. Don't plan it to death. Don't wait for motivation. Just pick one thing and act. Your current life is the result of past decisions. Your future life will be the result of what you decide right now. The power to change everything is literally in your hands. If this resonated with you and you're ready to master not just inner resistance, but every aspect of personal success, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. This is just the beginning of your transformation, and I'm here to guide you through every step of the journey. Your dreams are calling. It's time to answer.